Welcome to the Dare to Date podcast, the podcast where I have the bigger conversations about dating, love, life, and relationships. You know, the ones that change lives. Now, I want to talk in this week's podcast about what to do when you feel a bit discouraged or disheartened that what you want isn't happening. I mean, that can be around dating and meeting the person that you want to meet. It could be about finding a job. It could be about life. Now, I'm recording this particular podcast on the 16th of January. And there's a reason why I'm doing that. Now, research has shown that this particular time of year is when people give up on their New Year's resolutions. And they do that because they've already failed. Now, I've talked to plenty of people who tell me that they don't like setting goals. And the reason why is in the past, maybe they've set a goal that they've put in the effort to make something happen and it's not work. So it's left them feeling worse, right? And I can totally understand that when you set a goal, you've taken action to achieve that goal and it doesn't work, it does leave you feeling hopeless. It does leave you feeling like, what's the freaking point? It doesn't work. And it can make you give up. So I want to give you some really practical tips how you can avoid doing that. And, you know, I'm going to give you some tools that you can use because no matter whether it's you wanted to meet someone or, like I said, you want a job, you want some changes in your life, you absolutely can achieve that. Now, sometimes it is a bit of a process. Now, I know that we live in this whole instant society, right? And I know I can be a bit that way. Like, I've gone on this healthy eating plan this year, and I've been on it for literally a week. Now, I've stood on my scales, and spoiler alert, they haven't gone down. And I have to admit that I felt initially disappointed. I've put in this work, I've done everything that I've meant to do, and nothing's changed. But the thing is, it's going to take a little bit longer. It's going to take more consistent action. And on the flip side, when I wasn't eating so well, I didn't expect every week that I ate bad that I was going to put on weight. So we tend to, I don't know, have unrealistic expectations sometimes. So if you set some goals, it is going to take time and it's going to take effort. So on my thing to lose a bit of weight, it's going to take beyond a week. And for some of it, it's going to take a change of lifestyle. It's going to take some change of habits that I've got to be consistent. And, sometimes I'm not going to meet those habits, and that's okay as long as I don't take the all or nothing approach, which can be really easy. Well, it didn't work. So what's the freaking point of trying? So, and maybe for you listening, you listened to my last podcast where I talked about how to have the best year possible. And you got all inspired and you started to take action, but then life got in the way, you got busy. Or let's face it, sometimes it's just easier to do other things that are just easier than the thing that we set out to do. Now, you might, if you listen to the last podcast, one of the things that I want to do this year is I want to declutter. Now, I've moved in with my partner and we've combined two household worth of stuff. And we haven't really gone through and sorted it out. So our general living areas look great. But if you go in our garage, if you go in the spare rooms, not so great. So we started off really well on New Year's Day, cleaned out the kitchen. I have to admit, it's day 16 and I haven't done that much since. But I can get disheartened by that or go, okay, let me take those small bite sized steps to achieve what I want to. So just getting one container out a day, one box out of the spare room and sorting through it. Do I need this? Can I get rid of this? Can I give it away? And then celebrating the fact that I've done it. What we tend to when we're working towards goals is we just go, 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 achieve stuff and don't stop and really reinforce the fact that we've done something great. Now, why is it important to sometimes make a big deal of taking action? Because it does something in your brain to motivate you to take more action. So, for example, it sounds silly. I could box And then, yay, I've done it. And I really feel how it feels to take that action, right? Sorry, I got excited and I knocked the mic. Take the time to feel that. And what it does is in your nervous system, it makes it easier to go back and do that thing next time. And you can do that when it comes to dating. You know, I know that maybe you go on a dating app, maybe you listen to my last podcast and you heard that you're going to find more people in January online than any other time. So you've got all motivated, you've put your profile on, maybe you've got some pics, you've written something that you're quite proud of, put yourself online, and then you've got nothing, crickets. Like that can be really disappointing when you've gone to the effort. And I mean, it can make you feel bad about yourself. Does no one like me? Do I not look good enough? All of a sudden, am I too old? Whatever that is for you. But in my experience going onto dating apps, and before I met my partner, I've done it. I've met some great people. I've had a great relationship from online dating. Is it sometimes takes a little bit of time for your profile to be seen by the right person. You often don't get the traction you want for a couple of weeks or even go on that date. It could be a month because sometimes you need to have conversations, you need to talk to people, and some of them will be great to talk to, and some of them aren't going to be your person. And the fact of the matter is that someone can be a really a person that you'd like, a person you could see yourself being friends with. But romantic relationships are something different. You want to, not everyone is going to be your person, and you can meet some great people along the way. So while you're doing all this dating, consider people's feelings, consider that they're humans on the other end. And when you go into this whole dating experience, find a way to enjoy it. Find the way to enjoy meeting new people. You know, I'm sure your friends who are in couples go, I give anything to be back out there dating. And yeah, they don't get how difficult it can be, how you might feel like it's never going to happen. But I want to tell you to have faith, right? And the definition of faith is believing in something even when you don't see the evidence of it. So you're not given this desire to meet someone and be in a good relationship without the ability to make it happen, right? And sometimes there's a gap between where you are now and where you want to be. And the key is to take consistent action. So what do you do when you get to this point of time and things aren't working? Take a good honest look at what actions you're taking. If you go, okay, I put my profile up, and you go to swipe through and you go, oh my God, I'm going to do anything other than this. I'll go out, I'll go meet my friends, I'll go for a run. Because let's face it, a run or doing some exercise will actually make you feel better because it produces feel good endorphins. So maybe you go to your go-to activity. But the thing is, that can be easier to do, but it's not going to get you the results, achieving the goal that you want. So while I don't want you to get so focused on achieving your goal, because that can be crippling, and I'm going to say this a lot, I just want you to take bite-sized actions to achieve what you want to achieve, right? Without focus on, oh my God, I have to be in a relationship. I'm lonely. I'm sick of seeing couple friends. Don't focus on that. Focus on, okay, I'm going to chat to someone great online. I'm going to have a good conversation with another human. I'm going to enjoy meeting someone new. And look, when you go on your dates, kind of take the time to notice what you enjoy and don't plan dates you don't enjoy. I mean, I don't recommend a dinner date for the first date. Go do something enjoyable. Go do something that you're going to enjoy the experience as well. I mean, you can go for a walk and ice cream. You can go for a drink and play pool. You can go do an activity that you want to. You can go see, I don't know where I live, Fringe is coming up. You can go see a live show that's a very short show, gives you something to talk about afterwards. There are so many things that you can do. But most of all, you want to do things that you're going to enjoy. So at the least, you've got some moments in your life that you're enjoying. And remember, if you have listened to the last podcast, I recommended this year taking photos of your good moments and the things that you enjoy. And what we tend to do as humans, right, is as humans, we're programmed to notice the negative more than the positive, right? And why that happens is a bit of safety mechanism, so a bit of a survival instinct to look for what's a threat to us. But our brains are a bit of our worst enemy when it comes to this. So, any negative experience will stick, and any positive experience tends to slide off. And what you can do is you can retrain your brain to remember the positive moments, right? And how you do that is notice them throughout your day. What tends to do is we can, like, if we're sad, we tend to stay in sad a lot longer. If we're happy, it can pass by without us noticing a lot of the time. So what I want you to try and do, and it's really effective, is in the moments in your day that make you smile, spend 10 seconds longer in those moments and really notice them. Notice what makes you happy. And, maybe you're going for a walk and you see a bird that's singing and you notice the sunshine. Spend a moment to appreciate that moment. Maybe you're with your kids and they're making you laugh. Spend an extra moment noticing that. Maybe, it's you're with friends and it's a great social connection. Spend longer in that moment. And then what you do to reinforce that at the end of the day, what you do is you'll actually remember those moments and be thankful for them. Be genuinely grateful, even write them down. And it trains your brain to look for the good things. And I heard this quote the other day, which I absolutely love. You do not see a happy person who isn't grateful or who isn't thankful. And that is so true. I'm going to say that again. You do not see a happy person who isn't grateful or thankful. So try that hack to really reinforce what you can be thankful for. And why is that so important? I say this all the time, but if you're happy with your life and if you're more positive, it's going to make you instantly more attractive to the people you date. And if you are training your brain to focus on the positive, it literally gives you so much that you can really appreciate in your life and it makes life better. A bit like the hack of taking pictures of the stuff that makes you happy and looking at them at the end of the day. And like I said, if there's not enough moments that are making you happy, go back and find some stuff that makes you happy, right? Because life is meant to be lived. Life is short. And if you're going to meet someone, imagine you met someone by the end of the year. You don't want to wait to be happy when you meet them. Enjoy the moments up until then. Have rich, fun experiences. Meet new people. Make new friends. And you'll be amazed by what can happen. Now, I'm not a fan of putting all your eggs in one basket. Sorry, I'm being very cliche when it comes to dating. Like, I do recommend online dating, but I reckon you give yourself a set period of time on there because it can get really disheartening. I recommend that you also um, go out, go talk to people in real life, get off your phone, be present, do some of the things you love, not with the expectation to meet your person, but just to enjoy life. You'll be surprised what can happen and have faith, right? The belief that it's going to happen. And honestly, having that faith can feel hard at times, but all I want you to do is take some bite sized steps so you can achieve what you've set out to this year. The the other thing, I want you to get rid of the whole time concept out of your mind, right? Because sometimes things take longer than we imagine, but it doesn't mean you can't enjoy the process. Sometimes we're so obsessed with the outcome that we're not enjoying our lives in the meantime. And that sucks the joy out of life. And I don't want that for you. So know that it will take as long as it takes. But if you're taking consistent action, it's going to happen. And look, when it comes to online dating, if you're going to go on there with a plan, right? Decide this month how many dates you would like to go on and aim to go on those dates. Maybe you want one a week. Maybe you want to make sure that you've had 4 in the month, whether you do a couple in 1 week, depending on your schedule. But set the intention that that's what you're going to do. And when you go online, sometimes people ask me for the clever questions to have, to stand out, to have fun, because all the conversations are the same. But what I want you to do is if you met someone in real life, you have real conversations. And often in real life, we talk about shit, right? We talk about the most. Imagine when you go to work on a Monday morning and you're talking about your weekend. It's a very different conversation. They're very normal. They can be funny. They can be enjoyable. So you want to have some of those normal conversations rather than just a series of questions and answers that, quite frankly, leave most people not wanting to engage in the conversation. It feels painful. It feels like a second job. It doesn't feel fun. And that's some of the reason that a lot of people aren't getting results online, because it's boring, it's tedious, um, it seems same. And I mean, most people aren't good at this sort of thing, which is why you really want to move and meet people. But you have to, I don't know, small talk is necessary in any situation in life, and especially online. You can't just go, here's my number, let's meet. You've got to engage in something before that happens, right? Yeah, so spend the time and you'll be surprised at who you might meet along the way. And you don't want to have a pen pal. And look, what I want to tell you is there will be people online that want to waste your time. There will be people who are online just to feel good about themselves and they just want to chat and they have no intention of meeting you. But don't get hung up on that. And the reality is that dating is a numbers game. It's about meeting a number of people till you meet the right person for you. It's also about timing, right? It's a bit like if you're looking for a job. You might have in mind that you want to do a certain job and the job might not yet be available, but at the perfect time it is. And sometimes dating can be like that. So I want you to have the faith that what's for you, you're not going to miss out on. And find stuff in your life that in this process allows you to feel good and enjoy some of the process along the way. And, don't get so caught up in the timing of things because, it's really amazing how at the right time, the right things happen. Look at what you're learning along the way. Look at what you're enjoying along the way. And you know, when you are in a relationship, you'll look back on these days quite differently. But most of all, I don't want you to lose hope. I don't want you to feel disheartened that it's not going to happen for you. Just take bite sized pieces and remember that a happy person is always one that's thankful. And I don't know about you, like I do look at my life and I have so much to be thankful for that I take for granted. I live in a nice house. I have no trouble having food. I have so many wonderful people around me. I don't know, life is wonderful. And to look at some of those good things that you could be thankful for, your life could be totally different. So find the small things in life to be thankful for, focus on them, and find what brings a smile on your face. It will instantly make you more attractive. And you know what? Don't give up hope. Yep, it's the 16th of January. but just continue to take bite-sized, steps. A bit like me, again, I've put the camera on because I did say to you guys, I'm going to put the camera on when I'm recording my podcast so you can watch. I've tried to look at the light and sometimes I get distracted and I haven't been, because if I look at the screen here, I look weird when you watch it back. So I meant to look at the camera, which does feel weird when you're recording a podcast. I'm also going to continue on my health journey. I'm going to continue to sort out the boxes. I'm going to continue to work on my relationships and have some of the conversations that I need to. And look, know that it's natural human nature to sometimes avoid what we might find hard. But a bit like, I'm not a runner. I'm never going to run. But if I did want to run, I just have to consistently run to get better at it. The more you do something, the more your skill increases. Like for any of the women out there, some of the guys that are players online are very skilled at online dating because they know what messages work and they know what messages don't work. So maybe go back and look at some of your messages and see the messages that have worked. See some of the conversations that you've enjoyed in those texting things and do more of that. Be a bit of a social scientist in what works and what doesn't. And most of all, have fun. Get in the mindset that you can enjoy the process. Enjoy getting to where that you want to go and find the things that put a smile on your face. Anyway, that's enough from me. So remember, bite-sized pieces and have the faith that it's going to happen. Anyway, my name's Debbie Rivers. I'm a relationship coach and thank you for listening and bye for now.